Maple belongs on pancakes. Confused? Well, let me tell you a story. 3 years ago, I was lucky enough to go on a camp in northern Canada, where I went on a 10-day canoeing out trip on the lakes and rivers of Tamagme. It was beautiful, it was nice, until you reached the bend of the river, where all you could see was cut down trees and hear chainsaws. I felt sad, but I was 10, I didn't think I could do anything. So fast forward 10 years, or 3 years. Oh. So I recently got into skateboarding, and I knew I wanted to do something with skateboards for my quest. So I started doing research, and then I found that skateboards are the #1 use of maple worldwide. So I thought, okay, for my quest, I'm going to build a sustainable skateboard. So I started doing more research, and I found bamboo. So I thought, okay, someone had to already have done this. So I started doing more research, and I found there's a company that does it, but yet they still have 40% maple in their boards. So I thought, for my quest, I'm going to create a 100% sustainable maple bamboo skateboard. And I have. But I didn't only want to do a quest. I wanted to start a company. But I learned if you're starting a company, it's hard. There's lots of questions. But the 5 main ones are, what's the market? Who's going to produce them? Who's going to sell them? How do I get to my customers? And who's my competition? So I started doing research on the market. And I found that there's over 15 million skaters worldwide. And on average, they buy 2 boards per year. So I thought, okay, that's good. And then I found the rising markets are Asia, Africa, and the Middle East, all places I knew very well. So then I thought, okay, why would they want to buy my board? So I started doing research, and I stumbled onto a survey that 65% of skaters want to be more eco-conscious when they buy their boards. Second question came up to, where do I produce them? So I started doing research, and I tried finding them in Bali. So I started then I found some. I tried going to the shops, but they didn't have what I wanted. So I started going to local carpenters, seeing if they knew anyone that had what I wanted, but no one had it. So I started doing research in Indonesia. No one had it. I started doing research in Malaysia, Thailand, Myanmar, Vietnam, but yet no one had it. But then I started doing research in China, and everyone had it. But the thing was, I didn't want to make it there because I didn't know if it was going to be in a factory like this, and what if it was actually going to be bamboo. So I contacted John Hardy, and he said I could build my boards at PT Bamboo, a factory just across the river, owned by and run by Laura Hardy. He said that they would help me make a whole new process to make my skateboards. So I did. So the third question came up was retail. I didn't want to sell it via Amazon and other online retailers. Sorry. Okay, I didn't want to sell it via online retailers, but I wanted to sell it through local shops to help the local economy, and that's where most skaters buy their boards. So I decided I'm only going to sell it through local shops. And one of the questions was marketing. So people could find me via my website or through social media. And also, like Nalu, we're figuring out a formula. For every 10 boards you buy, 1 board will be donated to a boy or girl in Afghanistan, Palestine, or Cambodia through an organization called Skatistan that help poor kids in impoverished areas to get to skate. So the last question that came up was, who's my competition? So, like I said before, there's a company that makes skateboards, but still has 40% bamboo, or maple. There's Super Green Boards, who make nice quality longboards, but their boards are out of most people's budgets. And then there's Arbor Skateboards, who make only bamboo longboards and other products. So what's next? So to recap, I've got a product, I've got a market, I've got a place to produce it, I've got a place to sell it, I've got a place to market it, and I don't really have much competition. So in 1 month exactly from now, I'll be in Toronto learning from pro shapers how to shape a good board, the perfect board. In August, I'll finalize the designs for the company. In September, I'll launch the social media and website for pre-ordering. And then it'll be released just in time for the holidays. So that is the conclusion of my quest. But before I go, I want to set out a challenge. I want to set out 3 challenges. 1, buy a board. 2, I want someone to make wheels out of a sustainable material, because right now they're being made out of polyethylene, which is an oil which is bad for the environment, and every time you skate, it rubs off onto the ground and then goes into the waters, which is bad for the fish. And 2, I want someone to make trucks out of recycled materials like plastic and aluminum, so I can have the most sustainable, complete board there is. Thank you. So here's the board.